What if getting lost is actually part of remembering? What if this is not happening to you, but for you? And who better than I can actually say that when 6 years ago I was completely, totally lost. My life completely fell apart in 2020. I used to live in that time in Australia, and all of a sudden, just in a few months, every aspect of my life, boom, completely gone. I have to go back to my country, my hometown, after 8 years. It was terrible for me. I never felt like that before. That level of feeling lost, the level of depression, the level of exhaustion, never ever experienced that. And sure thing, in that moment, I didn't think it was happening for me. I thought I have this victim mentality, of course. Why this is happening to me? What I've done wrong? Why? I don't understand. This is not fair. This is the price that I needed to pay to work hard for my entire life and looking for answers. All of these thoughts, right? Because in that moment, when you are totally lost, how can you think positively? How can you think optimistically? It's impossible. It's not even about thinking positively. It's all about understanding with time. The being lost, feeling lost, is actually a blessing. And I want you to explain why. For my entire life, I keep asking myself deeper questions. Questions that were bigger than I was since I was a kid. From certain events that were happening in my life, or because I am deep. I try to find out things. I research. I'm curious. I wanted to know. I wanted to connect with myself. And so I always ask deeper questions. But I never knew how to gain answers. I never knew how to ask, really. So I was just asking, but then let it go. That's it. I didn't know. And so your life keep moving forward like this until one day I remember I was becoming obsessed with questions that I had since after high school. Then I stopped and I said to myself, that's it. I'm not going to ask any more questions. I cannot live like this with all these questions, obsessed about the questions and not getting any answers. And I just lived my life. But the way how my life unfolded, all the situation, all the events that happened, all the people that I met in my life were literally leading me to all these answers. The problem was I had no idea. Where everything was leading me is right there in that moment, 2020, where I needed to collapse, where I needed to feel lost, where I needed to have my life completely crumbled. And why is that? Because if you truly want to live your best life, if you wanted to become a certain type of person, if you wanted to become who you are meant to become, everything that you're not needs to go away, needs to die. There is no space. You cannot be who you thought you are at the same time of who I truly am. Can all of these two things live together? Nope. So what usually life does is strip you away everything that you are not. The illusions, the beliefs, the identity, the life that you created because you thought that was your life. Everything must fail, fall apart completely. And that's what happened to me. 6 years passed by. And what happened during the 6 years, I can't even have words to explain, really. the depth, the truth, the inner healing that I had to go through, the inner change that I needed to go through, everything that happened, everything that I have become, it's something that I couldn't thought possible before. But it couldn't happen if my life didn't crumble, if I didn't feel lost, if I didn't feel depressed, exhausted, empty. And so after all these years, when I look back now, I think and I truly believe that whatever happened to me was the best thing ever. Now, if you ask me, would you go back to that and redo everything to get you where you are today? I said, hell yes, 100 times. However, if you were asking me 6 years ago, to get there, you have to go through this, and that. Would you do it? Oh God, no. Absolutely not. In fact, you're not meant to know what you have to go through to get where you want to be. Why? Because if you truly knew before, you will never get there. Instead, you take small steps. You figure it out in the moment. This happened, I figured it out. I'm struggling, I figured it out. Without knowing what's next. Because if you only knew, boy, nope. But now I look back, I connect the dots, and I'm so blessed to have experienced everything that I needed to experience. Because the person that I have become today, unrecognizable. What I remember about myself and my life, incredible. My new vision, a sense of calling and purpose and impact that I want to live in this world, incredible. It completely changed the direction of my life forever. And from now on, it's just the beginning. What I want you to do is, feeling lost is not a burden. That's how it might seem like. But it's actually a blessing, because it's the moment of truth. It's the moment when life is giving you the possibility and the opportunity to rebuild yourself and your life from scratch, from zero, from truth and alignment. How blessed you are. Instead of keep living in the struggle, in the illusions, in lie, right? Because this is it. How great could it possibly be? Your old identity, if you truly want to change, must die. Who you think you were must die. And that gap between your old identity that is falling apart and the new you that is not formed, this gap is the feeling lost, is the exhaustion, is this, oh my God, what's happening to me? Because it's the void, the emptiness, it's the moment of I'm not who I used to be, but I'm not even this new version of myself. That's a phase in inner transformation that every single human being goes through, no matter who you are. And that gap, that is the thing. But who you become during this phase, it's something incredible. The faith that you will gain, not in a religious way. The faith is literally trusting the unseen. Have faith in yourself and in life that no matter whatever you cannot see, it will turn out for the better. That's what faith is. Nothing to do with religion. I'm not religious, like in terms of church and whatever. But that's another thing. The confidence that you will gain, the self-esteem, the courage, the patience, persistence, consistency. You start remember in the process who you truly are. You start connecting with yourself. Because once your old identity and your ego start to falling apart, you start shedding off everything that you're not. And so by shedding off everything that you're not, who you truly are naturally emerge itself. Because it's not something that you have to find somewhere else or in something else or in someone else. It's already here, but has been covered from bullshit. Beliefs that you're not, belief that doesn't come from you, inherited from family, parents, society, environment which you live, which is essential. That shaped who you think you are, but you're not, right? But when you start shedding all these things, look what happened. The real you finally emerge. The one who doesn't have so much ego, who doesn't have a false identity, and you start every single day creating yourself. And in the process of creating yourself, you start remembering who you are. So feeling lost is actually a blessing. Don't push it away. Don't go back to the old. I know it's scary. I know some people fear this because it's normal. 6 years ago, I was truly uncomfortable because feeling that way feels uncomfortable. Everything is missing. You don't know what the heck is going on. You don't know your next step. You don't know where you will be in 5 months, not even the day after. You know nothing. Plus, going back to an environment that you already outgrown long ago. Because when I came back to my hometown, I was already a different person after 8 years. But I saw everything around me was the same. Same mentality, same way of thinking, same way of being, same behavior, same environment, same everything when you had changed already. And it was one of the most difficult things to do. Keep changing and evolving in an environment that it doesn't support that. It's not easy. But when you do that, the person that you will become, you can even imagine. So what I want you to do is, if you're feeling lost right now, don't run away from this feeling. Stay with it. Do what it takes. Face it. Don't run away. The more you run away, and the more you will keep looping this. Because if you run away from feeling lost today, you are going to feel lost tomorrow again and again and again and again. It's like running away from pain. The more you run away from pain, the more pain you will feel, the more it will appear, and the more you keep living in the same loop. Things must be faced. And this is what I learned, and this is what I've been doing since the past 6 years, because I was born in a family where emotions are not spoke. Pain are not faced. We're running away from everything, right? But when I started to break this, and I started to face everything that I needed to face in order to become the person I wanted to become, in order to get out of this false life that I was living, I needed to do so. You have to do so. Everyone needs to do this if you don't want to keep living the same things over and over again. Sure things, maybe people change, they look different because they're different people. Situation may slightly change, but it's the same thing. That's why people stay in the loop of having the same relationships, different face, same people, same situation, right? Same environment or different environment, but same shit. Why? There is something that the life is telling you to face. There are lessons that you need to learn. And until and unless you don't learn that lessons, life will keep reflecting and mirror the same thing over and over and over again. So don't run away from this feeling lost. Face it. Stay with it. Ask deeper questions. Focus on yourself. Take the responsibility of becoming the best version of you without blaming the society, without blaming your parents, without blaming your life, your friends, whatever. Take the responsibility and finally focus on yourself. Because when you do that, and I am the proof, no denying this, when you start focusing on yourself, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how painful, something magic is going to happen. I hope this video was helpful and see you in the next one.